So, in today's episode of Men Actively Attempting to Keep Men Single and Lonely, we have Shaq here saying that a man should never open up to a woman. Let's listen to what he says.
Open up to a woman?
Yeah.
Never. No, never.
When's the last time you think you've opened up to a woman?
We don't.
Your whole life.
Bro, I'm telling you.
We got players like I could, me and him related.
Yeah.
It's our first time meeting,
Yeah,
but
I can tell you guys, there's some connection here.
Oh, no.
They're going to tell you can't.
Because you know why?
But it's a trap.
Because you know why?
I'm trapped like a motherfucker.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because once you do, whenever something go down, they're going to throw it back in your face.
Well, that's
why.
That's real.
That's why. So you can't ever.
That's why you crackers, your dad left.
Yeah. You open up to a woman?
Yeah.
Never. No, never.
Okay, now, what did some of the people on Twitter say? If you don't want to be open with your partner, then don't date. Simple. This person says, this thread is a prime example of men expressing how true this is and women and simps saying what the problem is. No, the problem is the women, many of them who are immature narcissist brats who weaponize vulnerability to manipulate as a default setting. Okay, Shunami says, all of the women in the comments bringing up him being sad about living alone are doing exactly what he said they do. You couldn't write it better. Now, what is that man talking about? Shaq's first marriage ended because he was community peeing. He was throwing it out and he was cheating on his wife. So he went on another podcast, or it could have been his own podcast, where he was talking about his depression and loneliness. And he was talking about the fact that he was a cheater.
No, I never talked about this, and I'm glad you guys are asking because I don't mind talking about that, but I was bad. She was awesome. She really was. It was all me. I was just, look, we don't need to talk about what I was doing, but I wasn't protecting her and protecting those vows. So, sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up in. So I'm not going to say it was her, it was all me, because she did exactly what she's supposed to do. Gave me beautiful kids, take care of the house, take care of corporate stuff. It was just all me. Sometimes when you make a lot of mistakes like that, you can't really come back from that. But as I get older and dwell on situations, I can honestly say it was all me.
Are there things from that time you would change, and do you believe if you changed them, you'd still like to be married, or you still like to be in that position where you could be with your kids and, like Channing said, could control those type of things?
The best feeling for me was coming home and hearing 5, 6 different voices. Don't matter if I missed 15 free throws and we lost, they don't care about that. Dog man's home. Like, we used to play something called Dog Man. As soon as I come in, I turn into a wild dog and I chase him and bite him. I just used to get him and act like I'm biting him. And
Dog man.
Yeah, and they used to love that. And look, I was just being greedy. I had the perfect situation. Wife was finer than a mug. Mm-hmm. Kept giving me babies, still finer than a mug. I had it all. Just sometimes and I don't make excuses. I know I messed up. And then, when I didn't have that, I don't like to use the D word because I don't really know what it is, but I was lost. 76,000 square foot house by yourself. Lost. No kids. Go to the gym, nobody's playing in the gym. You go to their room, nobody's there. You start to feel it, but I said to myself, okay, you're not married, but you still have to protect and provide for this family. Get your ass up, man up, let's go. What you gonna do next? Because, may not be a husband, but I'm always be a father. And the father's job is to protect, provide, and love. I have 2, I don't like to use the term baby mamas, I have 2 wonderful women that have given me beautiful, gorgeous children. I have to protect and I have to provide and I have to love for them forever. That's why I work so hard. I don't work for me, I got it all. I gotta work for them, I gotta work for my 6 babies.
So maybe had he been vulnerable and actually opened up to his wife and connected with his wife instead of, going around dipping into random vajayjays, he could have been happier and more fulfilled. Now he has this big old house. He doesn't have the kids running around, and he's talking about depression. That's not throwing his words back as a weapon. That is, this is your issue. This is what you did, and commenting. The man at the top say, That work against you every time. This person says he's not completely wrong, though. Men, especially black men, are not always given the space to be vulnerable or open up, despite women saying you can open up. Don't get me wrong, men are guilty of it too, but it's lopsided. Um, this person says, who wants to bring that kind of distrust and loneliness into a marriage? Why don't you trust your wife? And this person says, Iceberg Slim, pimp, the story of, okay, so he's given Iceberg Slim, okay. No. Althea says, I'm not sure what you mean by open up, but I think it's important to be able to talk to the people we love about things that are important to us. Chris says, the truth of the matter is, if as a man you want to keep your sanity, you got to keep a lot of to yourself. Okay. This person says, I mean, he not lying. Personally, this goes for both males and females in my mind. I keep to myself. And men are having a crisis of loneliness. Loneliness is going across the board ever since the pandemic probably has exacerbated it. But every other month, we're getting an article about the crisis of men. Most recently, PBS talking about men and their friendship recession. So, who are they opening up to? Who are they? And maybe the fact that they won't open up, the fact that they won't have some emotional intelligence is keeping them from connecting to women. And women are like, you know what? If you don't want to open up to me, you don't want to trust me, and you want to be a cheater, and you think you're supposed to be the lead, and you don't want to be a partner, I bet I'd be single. But men are just like not paying attention. So you get all of these articles. Men are in a loneliness epidemic. Should women care? The male loneliness epidemic and how it affects fathers. How can men come out of the loneliness epidemic? If you just type in men's loneliness epidemic, every other month, last month, there was something about the crisis of men, men, dropping out the workforce. Men is something about men. And maybe them not being able to process their feelings and talk to people is part of it. AI girlfriends are making the male loneliness epidemic worse. Opinion, the cure to male loneliness. Why are men lonely? Male loneliness. Why are men susceptible to severe loneliness? Why are there all of these articles? Maybe men in these podcasts and the rise of the manosphere and the red pillars are helping them stay lonely because they give terrible advice. Terrible. Why do men struggle with loneliness? The tough guy image resulting from masculine norms discourages some men from expressing their emotional needs or desires. This can quickly lead to emotional isolation, even for those men with people in their lives who care about them deeply. You know, there could be people around, but if you choose to actively not want to engage with them or open up to them, and support and vulnerability goes both ways. And maybe that is where they are failing and flailing. They don't want to be open and honest. And so, who's really wanting to be open and honest back with them? And after a while, women will stop bumping our heads and being like, okay, you don't want to talk? Cool, peace. And that's that. Anyways, just like I said, another episode of men keeping other men lonely. That's just what they keep doing with their advice. And you see how it's working out for them. You see how it's working out for them. Article after article after article of them failing and flailing. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.